Hi there. Today I'm working with this beautiful mood board from Jot Magazine for February 2016, and I pulled out a few pieces of pattern paper. I don't have much purple in my stash, so I'm pretty much looking for more um, pinkish purple tones along with the beautiful greens that were in the mood board. So I found a few strips of pattern paper. This crepe paper one, this floral here, is one of my favorite crepe paper patterns of all time, and I have just a few pieces left, so I'm using one of those on this layout. And then this green stripe is another crepe paper stripe. So I'm just popping those at the bottom of my layout to add some weight down there, because I know I'm using this kind of more bold geometric half moon, rows of half moons up at the top underneath my photo, so I just want to have some pattern below to balance that out. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my photo onto some dimensional adhesive because I think it helps the photo stand out a bit on the layout. And I'm going to adhere this piece of pattern paper here. This is a design from Scraptastic Club, and I absolutely love their pattern designs. Are usually done by Caitlin Schaefer. They're really fantastic. And this was from the Wednesday night kit. But all of the links can be found at the link on this post that goes straight to my blog post. So if you want to get more details about the products that I use, you can check that out. So this photo was actually, I over edited the photo, and it's a bit over filtered, I guess you could say. But with the colors in this mood board, it actually looks really cool. So that's why I went ahead and used this photo. So I pulled out a few pieces of embellishment here. This is an Amy Tangerine tag by American Crafts, and the saying on it is pretty much perfect for what I want to talk about on this layout. That's a Heidi Swapp flower die cut, and that's also a Heidi Swapp written transparency there. I'm trying to space out this dark purple as much as possible, and I'm going to add in a little bit of gold as well. Okay, this little purple tag is from Scraptastic Club, and it's one of their printable cut files from a kit, probably the Wednesday night kit as well. And it's quite small, so I'm going to have to print my journaling onto it to make sure I fit it in. And I like placing it so that the edge of it is going off the edge of the pattern paper to the side. So with those three dark purple pieces down, the heart, the journaling tag, and the Until Forever, I have a visual triangle of that dark purple color. And so that helps really balance the layout with my embellishment, and I really like that. I have one more strip of this paper here, this floral, that's my favorite. So I'm going to see if I can actually use it instead of put it back in my stash of leftover pieces. But I just really don't like where I'm trying to place it. So as far as the design of the layout goes, I really like where all of the embellishments have been placed. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of these down. Okay, so everything's in place, and I've decided that I want to stamp on this layout, and I have this new stamp set from Ellie's Studio, and it's a limited edition stamp set, and it's part of the January mid-release, and it's called the Love You stamp. So I'm going to use the These Moments stamp from here, and I have just a strip of this pattern paper. I just want to make sure I like the way it looks stamping on directly onto it with black. So that's why I use that little strip on the side, and I'm going to go ahead and directly stamp that right onto my background pattern paper. So I'm grabbing my baby wipes. I use the sensitive baby wipes, the ones without alcohol, to clean off my stamps quickly while I'm creating. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another stamp out of the same pack. And I'm just trying to decide which one I'm going to use. And I think I like this Best Ever one at the top here. And whenever I use a new stamp for the first time, I take an eraser and just rub the eraser on it to make sure that ink clings to the stamp really well. And it really works to help you get a good image on your first stamp. So I just stamped that Best Ever just above the photo. And I'm cleaning that off. And I'm going to go for one more stamp. And this one is going to be the circle with the heart inside. Because I have a few circles on the layout already, so I want to kind of add one more. And I've just seen that this is crooked, so I'm going to fix that before I go. So the question is, where do I put the stamp? And I feel like at the bottom of the layout, it needs it. So possibly here by my title on the pattern paper. And because I wanted my globe to be at the end of the floral pattern paper, I have this little space here on the left of the globe. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and put my stamp. So I'm going to make sure it's inked up really well. And when you're stamping on layers like this, sometimes your stamp will be really clear on the top layer, but not so much on the bottom layer. So you can see that that happened here. So all I'm going to do is pick up my layer of patterned paper and stamp that image again directly on the cardstock to make sure I get a really good image. And pardon my hair right there, I'm just trying to get my head down so I can get a really clear look. So there we go. Okay, so I think that's it for stamps. And I just have some enamel dots here I'm going to kind of place on the layout. I have some teal ones and some gold ones. I'm just going to put those around my embellishments. Make sure this is stuck down really well since I tore that up. And after my journaling, I'd call that page complete. So the only thing I decided to add at the last minute was the Simple Stories black chipboard frame behind my embellishment. And I like the addition of that just a bit of black frame peeking out at the top. I think it adds some more visual weight towards the top of the layout. Thanks for joining me today. If you liked what you've seen, please subscribe to me on YouTube or leave me a comment. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.